This was number 3 from our classwork. And it says a ship is sailing north from point A towards point D. Point C is 175 kilometers north of point A. Point D is 60 kilometers north of C, and there is an island at E. The bearing of E from A, so this is from A, the bearing is 55, which is marked. The bearing of the bearing of E from C is 134. So number 1 says find the bearing of A from E. So we have to have north-south line drawn at E from E to A. Well, we know alternate interior angles, so this one would be 55. And then from E, if we start north and go all the way around like this, it would be 180 plus 55, which gives me 235. Number 2 says find CE, the length of CE. Well, we could use some more angles in here. So we have the bearing from D to C is 134. If we continue on, that would be 46 because the straight line has a degree of 180. If we have 2 angles, we should be able to find the third one, and that would be angle E. So now we have a side opposite of an angle. We could use law of sine and find that the length of CE is 146. Number 3 says find the length of AE. And again, we have a side opposite of an angle, so we could use law of sine to find the length of AE. And number 4 is a little bit more. It says when the ship reaches D, the point D, it changes directions and travels directly to the island. So from D to E, this is the distance that the ship took. At the same time that the ship changes direction, a boat starts traveling to an island from point B. So B is in between AC. It's the closest point to the island, which is important because the closest point would make a right angle with AC. Let's go ahead and find the distance that the ship took. And I have side, angle, side. So we could use law of cosine and get 192.61. And then let's go ahead and find the distance that the boat took. And this one is actually a little bit easier. You can use a right triangle here, so you can use SOHCAHTOA. I'm going to use sine. Sine of 46 is opposite over hypotenuse, and the length of B would be 105.05. Make sure that this makes sense. Across from a larger angle should be a longer side. Across from a shorter angle should be a shorter side, and so on. Okay, let's continue reading this. The ship and the boat arrived at the island at the same time. So the time that the ship took from D to E and the time that the boat took from B to E is exactly the same. There's a formula called the distance formula. It's rate times time. And since time is the same, let's go ahead and isolate time. Divide both sides by the rate. So time is distance over the rate. Because the time is the same for both boats, or the ship and the boat, the distance over the rate for the ship is equal to the distance over the rate for the boat. The distance that the ship took was 192, and the rate, it says in the word problem, is 50 kilometers per hour. The distance of the boat is 105, and now we just need to solve for that rate. And using cross multiplication, we get rate is 27.27.